As China's capital, Beijing has over 3 millennia of history to offer. Renowned for its gardens, tombs, temples, palaces, and more, Beijing has 7 UNESCO World Heritage Sites, and its treasures have made it the center of culture and art in China. With so much to see, here are the top 5 things to do and see in Beijing. One of the most, if not the most, iconic landmark of Beijing is the Great Wall of China. Built starting as early as the 7th century BCE and later joined to what we see today, it was built to protect China from raids and invasions. There are 8 main sections of the Great Wall in Beijing that you can enter from, and it spans over 600 kilometers. Make sure to prepare adequate footwear for the long walk and appropriate clothing depending on the weather. The Forbidden City, also known as the Imperial Palace, dates back to the 1400s and consists of over 9,000 rooms over 250 acres. It was actually burned down and rebuilt several times, so most of the existing architecture was built in the Qing dynasty in the 18th century. Be prepared for a lot of walking, but surprisingly you will find a Starbucks in the palace, so don't worry if you need a little extra jolt to explore. One of the largest imperial gardens in China, the Summer Palace, also known as the Royal Garden Museum, was once a summer resort for emperors. Now it is a retreat for people from all over the world. Take your time to explore the many pavilions, temples, and bridges this palace has to offer. Much of this park is occupied by the Kunming Lake, so don't forget to take a leisurely cruise to appreciate the masterfully designed architecture of this Chinese garden. The events that have occurred at the Tiananmen Square is as historic as the erection of the building itself. The Tiananmen Gates was built in the Ming Dynasty around 1415, but has been damaged and redesigned several times to what we see today in 1651. It is now at the heart of Beijing and holds many events and gatherings. Here was where Chairman Mao announced the establishment of the People's Republic of China, also the focus of the Tiananmen Square protests of 1989. Come and explore the different buildings that are part of the square, such as the Chairman Mao's Mausoleum, the Tiananmen Gates, the Great Hall of People, and the National Museum of China. Covering an area of 2,700,000 square meters, the Temple of Heaven is even larger than the Forbidden City. Enclosed by a long wall and separated by a semicircle, the temple is divided into a higher northern part and a lower southern part, representing the heaven and the earth. To highlight this temple may be the century-old trees consisting of Chinese cypress, scholar trees, and much more, some over 600 years old. Where else do you think is a must-see in Beijing? Let us know in the comments down below. Want to see more great videos about China? Hit the subscribe button below and follow us on our other social media. As the provincial capital, Chengdu is a major city in western China. It has a history of over 2,000 years, and due to the fertile Chengdu Plain where Chengdu is situated, it is often known as the country of heaven or the land of abundance. Chengdu is the 5th most populous city in China, with over 10 million inhabitants, but most of its fame comes from being home to the cute giant pandas. Ready for a 3-day adventure in Chengdu? Here is where you should go. Start off your Chengdu tour with an adventure with pandas, a must-have experience on any traveler's bucket list. Head to the suburb of Chengdu where the giant panda breeding and research center is located. It's interesting to note that all the pandas in the world are loaned out by China, all under the agreement that all newborns are returned back to the homeland to help spread the gene pool. At the Giant Panda Breeding and Research Center, take an exciting trip inside and say hello to the cute giant pandas and learn about their living habits, their environment, and what kind of initiatives China has done to help save the giant pandas. After, return to Chengdu, where you can enjoy a leisurely stroll through the broad and narrow alleys where you can discover the city's past. Enjoy some tea at the local tea house and witness the local people's laid-back lifestyle. They spend a lot of time drinking tea and playing mahjong, and if you don't already know how to play, you can get a chance to learn and play mahjong with the locals. Start off your second day by heading from Chengdu to Lisan, which is about a 2-hour drive away from the city. Lisan is famous for being home to a large Buddha sculpture carved from a cliff, also known as Lisan Giant Buddha. Built in the Tang Dynasty, the Buddha statue is 71 meters high. It's a stunning work of art. The size alone is surreal. After appreciating the Lisan Giant Buddha, you can visit the Buddhist temple nearby. After, head to Mount Yimei in Limeishan City. Mount Yimei is one of the 4 great Buddhist mountains in China. The other 3 are Mount Wutai, Mount Putuo, and Mount Jinghua. Mount Yimei has around 76 Buddhist temples, and most of them are on the top of the mountain. You can take a shuttle bus from the foot to the middle of the mountain and then take a cable car up to the top of the mountain to the Golden Summit. On your last day, enjoy the sunrise and the sea of clouds from the Golden Summit. From here, you can visit the huge 4-side statue, the Huazhen Temple, and the Copper Palace, all phenomenal landmarks popular with tourists. After exploring the Golden Summit, descend from the cable car and take a shuttle bus and head over to visit the Baoguo Temple and Fuhua Temple at the foot of the mountain. Want to take this 3-day tour to Chengdu? Click the link on the screen or in the description box below, and don't forget to subscribe for more great videos about China. Shanghai is one of the most visited cities in China, but with so much to see and little time, how should you best spend your time? Well, here are the 5 things that you have to see and do in Shanghai. A must-see of Shanghai is of course their iconic skyline, and the best place to see it would be from the Bund. Located on the west side of the Huangpu River, from here you can see the major landmarks of Shanghai, like the Oriental Pearl Tower, Shanghai Tower, and the Shanghai World Financial Center. Other than the amazing view across the river, on the Huangpu side you can enjoy a museum of international architecture. 26 unique buildings, all constructed in Western-inspired styles dating back to the 1930s. Spend some time walking along the river, enjoying the night lights and architecture. This famous classical garden is a perfect short escape from the modern, fast-paced Shanghai city. The Yu Garden, built in the Ming Dynasty by a government officer as a tranquil rest place for his parents, has undergone many changes in its 400 years of existence, but this all adds to its cultural value. The garden is over 20,000 square meters and has many pavilions, halls, ponds, and more to enjoy. Tianzifang is a place that is uniquely Shanghai, representing the mix of the old and the new. The area used to be of residential buildings and factories. Now it is filled with artsy cafes, craft stores, bars, studios, galleries, and more. These establishments not only represent the local culture, but what worldwide expats has brought in since. A perfect place for souvenir shopping, micro bars, and food from all over the world. You cannot come to Shanghai without eating some xiaolongbaos. If you don't have time to head down to Nanxiang, where the famous soup dumplings originated, your next bet will be to head to Din Tai Fung. Din Tai Fung is known worldwide for their xiaolongbaos. Although they are not the originator of these soup-filled dumplings, if you are short on time, one of their many franchises is easy to locate and you will be guaranteed an authentic soup dumpling experience. Nanjing Lu is the place to be for shopping. This shopping street stretches 3.4 miles long and is lined with over 600 businesses offering everything from famous luxury brands, traditional stores, restaurants, and fast food. The road is so long that there is a small train that runs along the street that you could take for 5 yuan. There are also street performances, open-air bars, and at night, the neon signs illuminating is a sight to be seen. Where else do you think is a must-see in Shanghai? Let us know in the comments down below. Want to see more great videos about China? Hit the subscribe button below and follow us on our other social media. Hangzhou is the 4th largest sub-provincial city in China and the capital of the Zhejiang province. Hangzhou is best known for its beautiful natural sceneries and its subtropical climates, making it a popular travel destination year-round. It was a recent host to the 11th G20 Summit in September 2016 and will be the host to the 2022 Asian Games. Here here are the top 5 things to do and see in Hangzhou. Hangzhou's most famous attraction is the West Lake. Measuring 2 miles in length and 1.7 miles in width, this freshwater lake has influenced poets and painters throughout Chinese history. Its natural beauty and historic relics has been an inspiration for many artists and garden designers. You can spend the day biking around the lake exploring all the different historic sites, or relax and take a peaceful cruise through the lake. Lingyi Temple, also known as the Temple of the Soul's Retreat, is a Buddhist temple in northwest Hangzhou. It is one of the largest and wealthiest Buddhist temples in China, containing numerous pagodas and Buddhist grottos. It is considered a leading center for research for Chinese Buddhist culture. Come see the different rock reliefs at the Feilaifeng grottos and explore the many halls in the Lingyi Temple. The Xixi Wetland Park is over 2,800 acres and has a history of more than 1,800 years old. It is abundant with cultural heritage and was the original site of the Chinese South Opera. It plays host to the Dragon Boat Contest, a water village, and silkworm feeding and production facility. Famous sites include the Hazy Fisher Village, Autumn Snow Temple, Titi Plu Villa, the Deep Poo Mouth, and more. Hefeng Street is one of the few famous pedestrian streets in China that is not filled with international brands but local Chinese crafts like paper cutting, handmade dough figurines, and more. You can find shops selling lots of local snacks like roasted walnuts and dragon whisker candy. The street has been well preserved since the Song Dynasty, where it was the center of politics, culture, and commerce. The Lifen Pagoda is the oldest bronze pagoda in China. Visitors can walk to the top to appreciate the natural landscapes of the West Lake, the nearby Jingxi Temple, and an overview of the city of Hangzhou. Best known for the view at dusk, which has been named the Lifen Pagoda in evening glow. It is the colorful evening light and green mountains mirrored in the West Lake. Come and enjoy the beautiful panoramic views from the Lifen Pagoda. Where else do you think is a must-see in Hangzhou? Let us know in the comments down below. Want to see more great videos about China? Hit the subscribe button below and follow us on our other social media.